gentlemen, thank you for your patience. We come to the end of a fabulous first day here at Windsor 2019. It now gives me enormous pleasure and pride to ask our chairman, Unigor, to escort the judge for the first group here at Windsor 2019, Mr. Stuart Payne, into the ring. Thank you very much. Stuart's been involved with dogs for over 40 years. He ordered his first set of tickets in 1984 in the breed in which he's become internationally famous, the Scottish Terrier. He now awards CCs across 3 of the groups. He's also approved to judge Best in Show. He's delighted to be here at one of his favourite full-time shows. A very warm Windsor welcome one more time to Stuart Payne. Thank you. So the first of the Best of Breed winners, it's the Airedale Terrier, followed by the Australian Terrier and the Bedlington Terrier. Now we see the Border Terrier and the Bull Terrier, followed by its cousin, the Miniature Bull Terrier, the Cairn Terrier and the Chesney Terrier, the Dandy Dinmont Terrier and the Smooth Fox Terrier, the Wire Fox Terrier and the Glenview Mal Terrier, the Irish Terrier, followed by the Jack Russell Terrier. Here comes the Kerry Blue Terrier and the Lakeland Terrier, the Manchester Terrier and the Norfolk Terrier. The Norwich Terrier is followed by the Scottish Terrier. Then comes the Seal Terrier and the Skye Terrier. The soft-coated Wheaton Terrier and Staffordshire Bull Terrier. The Welsh Terrier and the West Highland White Terrier. So, 26 of the 27 breeds here on show. Just the Parson Russell missing. So as the dogs don't set up, as your dogs are moving round into place, please. Moving round, please.
I've got some in the car for you.
So with all the dogs now in place, this is a chance for Stuart to take a first look at these 26 Best of Breed winners before individual examination. That gives me a chance to tell you a little bit more about the group in its entirety. Terrier comes from the word terra, which is the Latin for earth. It very aptly describes that part of the landscape in which these very hardy dogs were originally employed, being bred to drive badgers, foxes, rabbits and other quarry from their underground retreats. On occasions when the terrier couldn't reach into the barren world, it would still indicate the presence of the quarry to the hunter who would be able to unearth it via the means. Because of the qualities required to perform the underground task, most terriers are small to medium-sized dogs, often with short legs. They all have great digging skills and very powerful jaws, but always a dog with huge amounts of courage and tenacity. It's been reported that 2/3 of the world's terrier breeds originated in the United Kingdom. They range in size from the tallest Airedales to the much smaller Norfolk. Despite size, many shared characteristics are very obviously easy to spot. So, 25 breeds can now relax, and all attention is turned to the Airedale Terrier. Judged here today by Leslie Lee. Best of Breed is this male, number 12, from an entry of 27. We always refer to the Airedale as the king of the terriers. In reality, it's a cross between working terriers and otterhounds or Welsh harriers. Hailing from Yorkshire, originally called the Waterside Terrier, later the Bingley Terrier, and 1884 saw the name of the Airedale applied to this lovely breed. Having done a triangle, Stuart now asks the dog to move across and back. This is the Airedale Leicester breed, number 12. Now, the first of the terrier breeds on the table is the Australian Terrier. Judged today by Anne Bradley, best of breed is this male, number 37. The sturdy terrier is a native of Australia, although descended from several British terriers. Those that we'll see later, the Cairn, the Yorkshire Terrier from the toy group, the Skye, and perhaps even the Norwich Terrier. These are tough and willing little dogs. They'll tackle anything. They're ideal on the homesteads in Australia. They're capable of dealing with very small vermin and even snakes. Energetic, they're good watchdogs, capable of guarding isolated homes from intruders. That's the best of breed Australian Terrier, number 37. Yvonne Greenman was in charge of the Bedlington Terriers today. From an entry of 44, selected this female, number 47. Long traceable pedigree as the Bedlington as far back as 1782. Nailmakers moved from the south of England to Northumberland, taking with them terriers who they crossed with local dogs including whippets. As these crosses proved successful rabbit hunters, they spread across the north of England and firmly established themselves in Rothbury near Morecambe, and hence became known as the Rothbury or Northumberland Fox Terrier. In 1825, the neighbouring town of Bedlington adopted the breed and hence their new name came into being. This is where the first dog show held separate classification for Bedlingtons in 1870. The Bedlington best of breed, number 47. On the table now we see the Border Terrier. Entry of 105 here for Judge Jenna Tuck. This is a male, number 1, 2, 3. Numerically very strong terrier breed. The exact origins are unknown. There's evidence to suggest that it existed in the borders between England and Scotland during the late 18th century. Very much in its present form as we see now, first recognised by the Kennel Club in 1920. Very uncomplicated and genuine terrier is the Border. Coming back to our Judge Stuart. Best of breed number 1, 2, 3. Bull Terriers were judged today by Chris Ryan. He had an entry of 51, selected this male, number 210. First bred in Birmingham around 1850. The few breeds that's been truly constructed, mainly by James Heath, tried to produce an all-white bull terrier dog. It's bred the bulldog, the now extinct white terrier, the English white terrier, and perhaps even a bit of Dalmatian greyhound and pointer thrown into it. So it wasn't only an all-white dog, but an entirely new and different type of dog. This breed club was formed in 1887. The best of breed winning bull terrier number 210. On the table now we see the miniature bull terrier. First time here for tickets for this breed. Judged by Paul Wilkinson from an entry of 26. This is a female, number 255. Just like its cousin, the larger bull that we've just seen, the miniature bull terrier was developed in England in the early 1800s. Again, descending from the English bulldog and the now extinct white English terrier. Miniature bulls shouldn't exceed 14 inches, 355 millimetres. Selection of Paul Wilkinson in the breed. This is the female, number 255, a miniature bull terrier. Cairn Terriers today were judged by Ian Shaw from an entry of 30. This is a female, number 281. Cairn Terriers are supposed to have originated from the Isle of Skye, but dogs of the same type as the original Cairn Terrier also lived on the Isle of Harris, and also, of course, on the mainland. It's said that the county of Inverness is perhaps more correctly the place of origin with this charming breed. In 1909, the breed was tentatively launched under the name of the short-haired Skye Terrier. That caused uproar with the Skye Terrier, as you can imagine. Then the name of West Highland Terrier was proposed, and guess what? The West Highland White Terrier folk were also in uproar. In 1910, the name at long last was settled. The Cairn Terrier came into being. Very popular in the 30s, the Cairn was a breed of choice for Wallace Mrs. Simpson, the Duke of Windsor. That's number 281, the Cairn Terrier. Chesky Terriers today, judged by Jeff Horswell. This is a male, number 308, from an entry of 17. The national dog of the Czech Republic, where enthusiast František Horák. He mixed the Scottish Terrier with the Sealyard to produce the charming personality that we see moving in a triangle with confidence in big wing. Produced in the 40s and 50s, arrived here in the UK in 1989. The best of the breed, Chesky Terrier, number 308. David Guy was in charge of the Dandy Dinmont Terrier, and David descends us through this male, number 327, from an entry of 28. This Fox Terrier descends from one of the local varieties which existed in the Cheviot Hills. Their job was to hunt down otters and badgers. The breed club was formed at Selkirk in 1875, making it one of the oldest dog clubs in the world. There are two colour varieties of the Dandy Dinmont, the mustard and the pepper. Here we see a mustard. The wonderful, soulful expression of the Dandy Dinmont can easily melt your heart. Just look at that head and those lovely eyes. The best of breed winning Dandy Dinmont, number 327. Peter Julian was the judge of both the Fox Terrier varieties. This is a smooth. This is a female, number 365, from military 37. Smooth Fox was the first given official recognition by the Kennel Club around 1875. A year later, the breed standard came into being. 4 years later, the first breed club in 1880. The most lively and alert of terriers, very quick of movement, keen of expression, and often described as on the very tiptoe of expectation. Important terrier, this, significant due to the large number of terriers believed to have been descended from it. It's a mix of the terrier breeds. That's the best of breed, Smooth Fox Terrier, number 365. Move now to the Wire Fox, also judged, as I said, by Peter Julian. This is a dog, number 402, from an entry of 24. Descends from the rough-coated wire-haired black and tan working terrier, described by Turberville in 1611. It's hugely popular in Wales, Derbyshire, Yorkshire and North Durham. Additional white colour didn't appear until the early 19th century. Very soon predominated as it was easier to spot the dogs from the fox when out hunting. The breed was originally called the rough-haired terrier. First shown in 1860, it wasn't until the 1920s and 1930s. Art Deco area, Wire Fox became hugely popular, topping the Kennel Club's list of registration. The best of breed winning Wire Fox, number 402. Kathy George was the judge of the Glenavy Males. This is the male, number 424, selected from an entry of 11. County Wicklow in the Emerald Isle is the birthplace of this breed, and a version that was mentioned as early as 1575 in the book The Noble Art of Venery and Hunting by George Turberville. It's the rarest of Ireland's terriers. Lots of spirit and tenacity here. First selected this male, number 435 from an entry of 24. The Irish Terrier was the first Irish breed to be recognised by the United Kingdom Kennel Club in 1876. This is a breed developed from terriers from hunt kennels and the rat dogs of Cork and Ballymena in Northern Ireland. First seen in the show ring in 1873. Too tall to go to ground, the Irish Terrier is a very useful worker during both World Wars and was used as the messenger dog by both sides, the English and the Germans. The Irish Terrier, number 435. David Guy was also in charge of the Jack Russell Terrier. This time David sent us through the male, number 451 from entry of 27. This, I think, is the third year in the big ring for this breed. Recognised at the beginning of 2016 by our kennel club. Popular, lively and alert little hunter, sturdily built. Easily goes to ground after its quarry should it so desire. Breeders first judged in the United Kingdom by associate, good friend, Mrs. Cartledge here. When history was made, when Lizzie's best puppy, Jack Russell, won the first group award for the breed. Increasing in popularity all the time, great characters. The best of breed winning Jack Russell, number 451. Blues were judged by Jeff Forster. Jeff had an entry of 27, selected this female, number 482. Another from the Emerald Isle, the county of Kerry. It's a real conglomeration of breeds, terriers, setters, greyhound, sheepdog that make up charming Kerry Blue that we see before us. Too big again to go to ground, it's a great all-round farm dog. It's a very good ratter. Actually can even retrieve in water, I'm told, and can also herd successfully under the right conditions. I've shown light up there the Irish Blue Terrier. At the beginning of the 1920s, it was recognised outside of Ireland as the Kerry Blue. It is now the national breed of hare. Blue pups are all black. Coats changed to blue around the 9 to 24-month period. Number 482, Kerry Blue. Bill Brown-Cole was the judge of the Lakelands today. This is a dog from an entry of 11. Number 514A. 514A. There's a nimble Lakeland Terrier, was originally bred and used by farmers in the north of England to protect their sheep from predators. Another of the terrier breeds, whose name gives us an indication of its birthplace, which is obviously the Lake District of England. Recognised almost 100 years ago in 1921. of breed winners in the toy group to collecting ring 8, please. Or best of breed winners in the toy group to collecting ring 8. Liz Cartledge was the judge of the Manchesters today. On the entry of 21, Liz has sent us through this female, number 517. Another terrier breed, whose name tells us its origin, which is Manchester, where it was used extensively as an efficient ratter and a keen rabbit hunter. From the black and tan terrier mixed with some whippet, which gives it a great turn of speed. Known as the English Gentleman's Terrier, entering the kennel class of 1870. The Manchester Terrier, number 517. Norma Newton was the judge of the Norfolk Terriers. Norma had an entry of 28. This is the male, number 542. The Fens of East Anglia in the county of Norfolk produce this typical short-legged terrier breed. Another breed effectively used to control a variety of vermin, especially in the large grain stores of the fen areas. One of the smallest of the terriers, known as a demon for its size, does have a lovable disposition, isn't quarrelsome, and has a very hardy constitution. Confused with the Norwich Terrier that we'll see next. Remember this, the Norfolk has a fold or drop here, the Norwich erect. Norman Newton's selection here, the Norfolk Terrier, number 542. Dorothy Dawkins was in charge of the Norwich Terrier from an entry of 22. This is another male, number 567. Another small terrier, established by breeding small Irish terriers with short-legged working terriers, including the now extinct Trumpington Terrier. A good luck mascot for many Cambridge University students in the 1800s. Family dog, boisterous, full of attitude. As I just said, crypt ears like the tower of Norwich Cathedral is a good way to remember the difference between the Norwich and the Norfolk. 1932 saw them enter the Kennel Club register. The same year we saw the Norwich Terriers Breeders' Club form. The Norwich Terrier best in breed, number 567. So with the Parson Russell missing, Stuart now turns his attention to the Scottish Terrier, also judged by Bill Brown. This is a bitch number 634 from an entry of 38. Another wonderful terrier hailing from across the borders, as the name suggests, first known as the Aberdeen Terrier, where it was developed in the 1800s. Scotty type terriers were first shown around 1860. Breed standard was drawn up in 1880, and a club formed 2 years later in 1882. It was at this time that the breed name changed from Aberdeen to the Scottish Terrier. The height of their popularity was just like the wire fox that we saw earlier. Very, very popular in the Art Deco era of jazz and style. With a variety of colours, black, brittle or wheaten. Sturdily built, short-legged, powerful yet agile. Vigilant in the field as they are retrieving a ball in the bar. This is the best of breed Scottish Terrier number 634. This cartilage was also the judge of the Sealyham Terriers. This had an entry of 24. This is the male number 674. They hail from rural Wales between 1848 and 1891. The breed was the result of careful breeding by Captain John Owen Tucker Edwards, who lived at Sealyham House, Wolf's Castle, a village in Pembrokeshire, South West Wales. Claimed that the Welsh Corky, Wire Fox and the now English White Terrier all played a part in the makeup of the Sealyham. Famous owners: Betty Davis, Elizabeth Taylor, Alfred Hitchcock. First shown in 1903, recognised by the Kennel Club in 1911. That's the Sealyham Terrier number 674. Jeff Horswell was in charge of the Skye Terriers. Jeff, from an entry of 15, selected this bitch, number 699. They say in 1588 one of the Spanish Armada ships was wrecked on the island of Skye, and the only survivor was a small terrier-type dog, a long-haired bitch who became the mother of this island's long-haired terriers. Is it truth or is it fiction? We'll probably never know. They're certainly long and low to the ground, but not everybody knows that originally this breed was split into two varieties, those with prick ears and less common drop ears. At that time there were CCs on offer for both breeds. In 1840, Queen Victoria took a great interest in the Skye Terrier, and it became that much more popular across the whole of the United Kingdom. The best of breed winning Skye Terrier was 699. David Guy was also in charge of the soft-coated Wheaton Terriers, and David sent us through this bitch, number 738, from an entry of 42. And as you'd expect from this breed's Irish origins, it has a typical happy-go-lucky Irish element. Wheaton's original role in life was an all-purpose farm dog, herding, watching and guarding livestock, as well as controlling vermin of all sizes. Recognised in the United Kingdom in 1943. Soft-coated Wheaton Terrier number 738. Craig Scanlon was in charge of Staffordshire Bull Terriers. It was an entry of 84. This is the bitch number 833. And Staffordshire comes from the Breeds Association with the Black Country area of England where it originated. The result of crossing between Terrier and Bulldog to produce dogs with Terrier temperaments and Bulldog courage. They were first known as Bulldog Terriers. 1935 saw the first breed club. Same year of recognition from the breed from the kennel. They gained breed status in 1938. First champion in the breed was champion Gentleman Jim, champion Lady Eve, both taking their title just before the war in 1939. The popular Staffordshire Bull Terrier, number 833. And Bradley was in charge of the Welsh Terriers. This is a bitch from an entry of 15, number 856. Another terrier coming from North Wales in the 1760s. Probably the direct descendant of the previously common, but now extinct Old English broken or coarse-haired black and tan terrier. Originally bred for hunting fox, rodents and badger. First shown in 1866. Green Club was formed the same year, along with recognition from the UK. The Welsh Terrier best of breed number 856. Sheila Jenkins judged the West Highland Whites. This is the male, number 858, from an entry of 43. It was Edward Malcolm, Lord of Portulloch at the end of the 19th century, along with other farmers and hunters who were looking to produce a white terrier easily visible on the moors that were responsible for the West Highland White. It's definitely a mixture of white terriers from the Isle of Skye, from Fife on the west coast, and Argyll on the east, producing the Portulloch Terrier. Then became known as the Rosneath Terrier, and finally the West Highland White Terrier. Popular breed on television. Seen in many adverts. West Highland White, the best in show across in 2016. Wonder whether this West Highland White will be best in show here this year. We'll soon find out. The West Highland White Terrier number 858. So, having finished the individual examination, this is a chance for our judge Stuart to have one last look at these 26 breeds in the terrier group. As I said, the Castle Russ unfortunately not here. There were 906 terriers entered here at Windsor this year. So we're up nearly 50 dogs in the terrier group. Just under half of the total 2,191 dogs entered here today. So a group slightly larger than the terrier group. So Stuart Kelly goes back to make his cut. First in is the Australian Terrier, the Bull Terrier, the Dandy Dinmont's Terrier, the Smooth Fox Terrier and the Wire Fox Terrier, the Kerry Blue Terrier, the Norwich Terrier, soft-coated Wheaton Terrier, and the Welsh Terrier. That completes the short list of dogs. Thank you very much for those other best of breed. shortlisted dog, the Australian Terrier, sent through by Amber, number 37. The choice of Chris Wright in the breed, this is the Bull Terrier, number 210. David Guy sets us through the down the team. That's number 327. So the first of Peter Julian's two finalists was the Screw Fox Terrier, number 365. And now the Wire Fox Terrier was 402. First to the breed by Jeff Wilson was the Terry Blue with a 482. The Norwich Terrier sent through by Dorothy Dawkins on the 567. Second breed judged by David Guy to make final is the soft-coated Wheaton Terrier. This is 738. And the second breed to make the final judged by Anne Bradley, the Welsh Terrier, number 856. So that completes the second movement. So we can have the balls in place. Just one last one of these super finalists in this first group here at Windsor 2019. Are in place. And the decision's made. The winner of the Terrier Group, Windsor 2019, is the Wire-haired Fox Terrier. The second spot is the Screw Fox Terrier. Third in the group is the Bull Terrier. And we've landed him on his Group 4. Congratulations to those other players from the City Golf. A huge congratulations to the Wire-haired Fox Terrier, the first of our finalists here at Windsor 2019. And now gives me great pleasure to ask Grace Slavic to present the trophy to the winner of this first group here, and Debbie Bassett from Royal Canin to present the Rose Jackson sponsorship. And ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for a great job by our Terrier Group judge, Mr. Stuart Blake. Thank you, Stuart. Okay, Toy Best of Breeds, your last chance to make it to the collecting ring. We'll be going straight on with the Toy Group. If you're not there, you will not take part, so please make your way to collecting ring number 8 for Best of Breed winners in the Toy Group. So, if I could ask the Wire Fox, round you go please, the lap of honour, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Terrier Group, the Wire-haired Fox Terrier, number 402. If you're not staying for the Toy Group, thank you very much for your support today. Travel safely home, and we hope to see you back here on Sunday or next year. Could Mrs McAnally please make her way to the Treasurer's office, please, along with Mrs Newton. This is the final call for the puppies in the toy group and the veterans in the toy group to make their way to their respective rings 9 and 10. 9 for the puppies, 10 for the veterans. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just waiting for the final best of breeds to get in line for the toy group, and we'll move on with that just as soon as I get the nod that we're ready. Could the Smooth Fox Terrier Group 2 in the Terrier Group please go to the admin tent for photographs, please? The Smooth Fox Group 2, they're waiting for you for photographs. Thank you. So, it looks like we're ready for the toy group, the second of our groups here on day one. So now it gives me great pleasure to ask Una Gore, our chairman, to escort the judge for the toy group into the ring. Please put your hands together for Mr. David Guy. David awarded his first set of CCs in 1985. He now judges 2 groups and Best in Show and awards CCs across the utility, toy and terrier groups. Well known As secretary of the Windsor Championship Show, David has made up champions in 3 breeds. He's no stranger to Windsor, one of his favourite shows. A warm Windsor welcome for David Guy. So the first of the toy best of breed winners, please, the Apple Pinch. The Australian Silky Terrier, followed by the Bichon Frise. The Bolognese. The Chinese Crested. Out of quarter there. The long coat Chihuahua and the smooth coat Chihuahua. Followed by the Coton Junior, the English Toy Terrier, and the Bruxellois. The Havanese, the Italian Greyhound, the Japanese Chin, and the Lurch. The Maltese, the miniature picture, followed by the Papillon and the Pekingese. The Pomeranian, the Pug, and the Yorkshire Terrier. So the Russian toy. The Yorkshire Terrier is missing. Sorry about that, it's the Russian toy, the import register there. Nice to see there. And if possible, can we have the Chinese Crested? Chinese Crested, could you move back into position, please, in front of the Coton de Tulier. Thank you so much. So, David's chance now to see the group in its entirety. A couple of dogs missing there, the Yorkshire Terrier for one. If I could ask the merchant to move round, please. And the Cavalier comes into place as well. Thank you. I do apologise for the dogs not being. There you go. So, David is having his first look at the toy group in its entirety. All have one thing in common, obviously, their size, but don't be fooled. They're very huge in stature and huge in personality. Good continental mix too in the toy group. The UK, Europe, the Americas, the Far East, and even Australia too. So, that's the no time. David turns his attention now to the first one on the table. This is the Apple Pinch. Delia Shepherd was the judge of the breed today. An entry of 70 selected this male, number 953. Up until 1896, miniature pinchers and Apple pinchers were the same breed, but just with different coats. With a show in Berlin that same year, it was decided to separate the breeds, with the wire-haired coat dog keeping the name of Apple pincher. David gives clear instructions, a triangle for the Apple pincher. Native of Germany, captivating monkey-like expression. Indeed, the real German word for monkey is Affe, where the name comes from. And straight round to the end, the best of breed winning Apple pincher, number 953. Dr. Geoffrey Kerr is the judge of the Australian Silkies. This is a male, number 980. Breed came about in the 1800s as a result of the crossings between the Yorkshire Terrier and the Australian Terrier that we saw in the previous group, formerly known as the Sydney Silkie. Said that after World War II, returning servicemen took the breed home. The Australian Silkie Terrier has grown in popularity all over the world. Highly intelligent dogs. great spirits too. Number 980, the Australian Silky Terrier. Breed specialist Val Constey was in charge of the Bichon Frises today. Val had a lovely entry of 46 and sent us through this male, number 991. It's thought that the origin of the Bichon is the Canary Island of Tenerife in the Mediterranean as far back as the 14th century. It's said that sailors took the dog back to France and it became a great favourite of the French court of Francis I and Henry III, recognised by the French Kennel Club in 1934. Bichon in Middle French refers to a small, long-haired dog. Frise translates to curly-haired. And voila, the name bestowed upon it by the Belgian breeder and judgment Andelise Zéda Limon was the Bichon Frise. 991, the Bichon Frise. Geoffrey Kerr was also in charge of the Bolognese. This is a male, an entry of 21, this is 1039. The name suggests Bologna in Italy around the 11th or 12th century is supposedly the origin of this ancient breed. The Medici family are known to have bred and owned Bolognese. In 1668, Cosimo de' Medici sent 8 of his dogs to Belgium as gifts for diplomats and other important court officials. So highly prized was this charming breed. Famous owners were Catherine the Great, Maria Theresa, of Austria, Madame Pompadour as well. One 1039, the Bolognese. Elaine McAnally was in charge of Cavalier King Charles. This is a male from an entry of 124, number 1137. In the early 1900s, this breed had lost its way. It was confused with its cousin, the King Charles. It's an interesting bit of history. In 1926, an American enthusiast, Roswell Eldridge, to try and increase breeders' interest in the Cavalier, donated prize money at Crufts for 5 consecutive years to be given to the best dog and the best bitch of the old type, like those dogs on the paintings of Charles II's days. And it worked, with the longer muzzled Cavalier type re-establishing itself, recognised by the Kennel Club in 1944. Number 1137, the Cavalier King Charles. Tim Ball was in charge of the long-haired Chihuahuas. Tim had an entry of 85. This is a female, number 1251. Pictured in history with the native tribes, the Mayans, the Toltecs and the Aztecs as far as back as the 6th century AD. It wasn't until the Spaniards arrived in Mexico in the 16th century that the native little dogs were rediscovered. That was in 1895 in the state of Chihuahua. Described as cheeky, saucy expressions. There's no doubt that this breed certainly make no big dog. And at heart they truly are. The long coat Chihuahua 1251. On the table now we see the smooth coat Chihuahua, judged today by Tom Mather. Tom had an entry of 70, this is the male number 1338. Toy puppies please to ring 9. Toy puppies, ring 9 please. So the smooth coat Chihuahua, just as much a big-hearted dog, became hugely popular in Mexico City, stole the hearts of America when the breed moved across the borders and state lines into Arizona. Also popular in New Mexico, where it undoubtedly became the smallest dog in the world. Smooth coat's name is that, it's coatless, most definitely smooth, soft texture, close and glossy, and undercoat a rough bristle too. So this is the smooth coat Chihuahua, choice of Tom Mather, number 1338. Layla Tarabab is the judge of the Chinese crested. This is a bitch from an entry of 441379. First recognised in 1981, these unique little dogs come in two varieties, the hairless and the powder puff. You can see the hairless. Difficult to pinpoint their origins. It's said that they were owned by families of the ancient Han dynasty of China, where they were guardians of treasure houses and were also used in some forms of hunting too. Good watchdogs today, as well as being good companions, intelligent and affectionate. Famous owners of this delightful breed include, amongst others, the illustrious burlesque star Gypsy Rose Lee. Number 1379, the Chinese crested. Jeffrey Kerr in charge of the Coton de Tilio as well. Today, busy day for Jeff.